Hello and welcome back to one of my favorite videos every year where we can discuss all of the collages that I created the previous year. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so a lot of these came from the Februage challenge that happens every February. This one, I can't remember which ones came from the challenge and which ones I just did on my own, which ones I did on the channel. I can't quite remember. But this was definitely one. I think this one was from the challenge and it was school. So there was a school of fish. And then I had this earth that I put the fish around. This was such a time-consuming one to do because I had to cut around each almost individual fish. And then I added this astronaut. There we go. That's the word. So I think what I want to do this year is also come up with names for these. Because in the past I have named all of my collages and I've dated them, but I haven't done it on camera. So I put them in sleeves when I can. I haven't found a big enough sleeve to like fit this. So I just have to, it just sticks out of this 12 by 12. But I have these little stickers and then I put them at the corner of each of the sleeves and then we give it a name and date it. Okay, as I was struggling to get this sticker off the paper, I am thinking maybe instead of having me just name them, what if you guys help me name them? That might be fun. So I'll just date it here, 2025. And then, I don't know, I just thought maybe this would have something to do with school. School's out, I don't know. But if you guys can think of something clever for this, let me know and then we can name it together. The next one is this one, just of a neighborhood with some quirky, animalistic, human-y kind of characters. I do like this one as well. I do think the different elements work really well. Like they're stepping down from these steps from this house behind them. He's sitting on a house. This one's rollerblading down the street. I don't know. I like it. I like it. So what do you think this one should be called? This was the first time I tried to do like a different kind of collage where I took like pattern paper and then I also added some other mediums like oil pastels, chalk pastels, paint markers, stuff like that. I didn't care for it so much. Some of the people in the comments were really encouraging about it, so maybe I don't feel as poorly about it anymore, but it's still not my favorite. However, it still needs a name. This one really reminded me of Chrissy over at Chrissy's Purple Library, of her little character friend Elliot the unicorn, just because of the unicorn and then the color scheme. It reminded me of him, so I thought that was really fun. But yeah, this one needs a name as well. This one is one that I really love. I love ones that include dinosaurs. I don't know, I just think it's just charming. So anyway, we have dinosaur, we have a family having a picnic, and then we have them at a very extremely large scale compared to the landscape, and I quite like that. This one actually has only 3 elements, so 1, 2, 3, because these all came from the same book, and yet I don't think it's underwhelming. Like, I think it's full enough. I think there's enough going on that you can, I don't know, read the story or interpret your own story or whatever, but I really like this one. This one I was excited about because I could finally use this robot face. I had cut it out and put this diamond and water elements on it, and I just needed a way to finish it, and this is how I finished it off. And I actually really like it, so I'm happy with this one, but I don't know what to name it. This one is a bear story, I guess. So I took a painting of a bear, I cut him out, covered him over the human here that was in the picture, and then I put some goldfish as if they were mounted on his wall on these gold plates. So yeah, I like this one. Not a favorite, but I like it. This is a kind of more of a stereotypical collage approach, but it was one that I had never done before, and so I wanted to play around and see what I could come up with. And so it's just basically cutting out features from a different face and then sticking them on a different face. So yeah, I don't know. It was an experiment. It was something I'd never done before, so it was worth it to try it out. I don't know that I love it, but maybe I need to revisit it. This one I think probably is one of my favorites. I had an idea for this girl. It's really like, I don't know. She seems really refined, and she's sitting there with her luggage on this beautiful chair. And I just thought, what if we put her on a planet? And so I found I think this is Earth, but a planet. And then I wanted to put something strange in her hand. I wanted a missile, but I couldn't find a missile. So I've just taped this guy in, and providing, oh, if the tape is leaving a residue, so I might have to commit to this. Because I was hoping to find a missile at some point and then swap it out, but I might have to commit to this one. This one was a fun portrait of a dog. Really more so playing with color and shape, I feel like. And I do quite like this one. I think it turned out well. It's very simple, but I like it. This is one of those that I had this idea and I executed it, and nothing necessarily went wrong with the execution, but for some reason it just didn't match what was in my head. I thought it would be a bit more obvious that these were like fabric pieces, towels and blankets and whatnot. I don't know that it reads that way, but yeah, it is what it is. It wasn't an experience because I really struggle sometimes with getting the thing that's in my head onto my piece of art. So it was one of those. I guess maybe you could call this a learning curve. I'm not really sure what I learned, but I hope something. It's getting darker and darker in my art room here. This is one that I like. It did turn out how I thought it would, and yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it reads well. It reads like there's this mysterious cathedral in this forest landscape that these two have stumbled upon. So again, I have the 3-element harmony here with this foreground, the midground, and then this cathedral piece. So yeah, I like it. This next one is very, very simple, and yet it still has that 3-element harmony with the background, the subject, and then the piece of art that she's working on. I wanted to have it really feel like this lady was sitting by this rainbow and she was interpreting it into her art. And I think that really like translated well. And I also like how the rainbow is either coming into her bucket or leaving the bucket, one or the other. It's connecting, and I think that's fun as well. So I always wondered if I should put something on the top, but I don't think that would be a good idea because it will distract, and I think the focus is properly put here, and that's where I want it. So I do think this is okay, even though there's a ton of blank space up here. Okay, this one was another crazy one to cut out because I cut out like almost each and every tentacle, there's the word, with an X-Acto knife, and that was difficult to say the least. Like even some spaces up here I just had to leave it how it was because I couldn't cut so tiny of a space. I just couldn't do it. So yeah, this was a jellyfish. No, it was a jelly prompt. So I took like a jelly food, made it into a jellyfish with this sea anemone. The sea anemone should be this way. And so it's all about like moving things around and flipping things upside down if you need them. And so this is like some kind of weird jellyfish. And I so happened to find an oceany scene that was tinted green, just like the jellyfish. And I thought that was really appropriate, even though I wish this background was larger. I don't love how it's coming out of the scene like this. I do like that other times, but I just don't feel like it worked for this one because the little pieces are so delicate. I don't really think that it works so well. And then also this particular anemone picture was cut off in the book. So yeah. There are some things I don't love about this one, but I do like some other things about it. This is one that I've never fully decided on how to complete it, because I do have some text that I originally thought I would include in the piece, but then I didn't know if I should just leave it without the text. So it's something like this. And so you guys tell me in the comments, do you like it with the text because it communicates the context, or do you like it without the text? So that's my dilemma with this one. That's why I have kept the letters or the words in this little baggie to keep them safe and to keep them with the piece itself. But I guess if we do, I guess either way, we could name this one these words, unless you guys have a different idea. That's probably what I would do, unless you guys think of something better. So here is another one, I believe from Februage. I really enjoy this one. I think it's clean, it reads well. I don't know, I really like it. I did contemplate whether I was missing something here, like if I should put some kind of something like driving on the road, whether it's a car or something else. You guys can let me know if you think that would be a good idea, but for now I'm leaving it blank. And yeah, that's all I can say about this one. I do like how the road goes right to the horizon and then lifts off. I like that, and that it communicates well with the sign. Okay, this was an experiment. I saw this white tiger face, and then I saw this man's face, and this man has very tiger-esque, cliche tiger colors in his hair. And so I was like, wait a second. White tiger, traditionally tiger colors, would it work? So I did it. What do I think about it? I think it worked. I don't know that it's my favorite, but I think I got that idea out of my head, which is great. That's something that I love about collaging, especially when you have something weird in your head. Just do it. Okay, this is one of my favorites because it has such a strong steampunk vibe to it. So there is this very moody background, which I love, and it's got this pinky purple tone. Great. And then this octopus that I've been wanting to use for so long. Oh no. Let's fix this right now. His tentacle got curled up. Don't love that. Let's quickly fix him. Anywho, I've been wanting to use this octopus for so long, and I wanted to find the right atmosphere for him. So I found this one. I found another octopus here, and then I found this steampunk pig, and I put two realistic pigs with him, and I think it tells a funny story. And this is one of those collages that uses numerous elements. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements, which is quite a lot for my collages. I like the harmony of 3 elements, but in certain cases, it really works to do a few more. So this is a really wacky piece, and I love it. So there's that. I know I wanted to let you guys name these, but I love the phrase hitherto undreamt of, and I just think it kind of fits this weirdly well. So I'm naming it right now. Sorry guys. I just think it's funny. There is this one, which is more of an inspiration from the Birth of Venus piece of art, and I love it. The color harmony is great. I'm so happy with it. It was a little bit of a headache to cut through her hair bits, and lots of places I didn't. And so because it was standing out with a white background, I really didn't like that. So I actually went in with a pencil crayon, or a colored pencil, and tried to color it in a way that married the scene. So that is kind of the story behind this one. I like it. This one is, again, another favorite. I just love the conversation that could happen from this one. I don't always need my pieces of art. In fact, I rarely need my pieces of art to instigate a conversation. But this one, I feel like it really does, and I love it. So it's kind of like technology. Is it deceptively beautiful, or is it, you know, the worst thing? Is it terrible? Is it an explosion? Is it deadly? So that is, I really like this one. Here's another one. I don't care for this one because it's too simple in my opinion, and it's not enough of a story. I don't know. I can't quite explain what I don't care about this one, what it is that I don't care about it, but we've got 4 elements here, and it's very color blocky, which is fine if you can make it work, but I just don't know that I made it work. What do you guys think? What do you think about this one? I had a lot from Febrilage that I was really happy with, and this was definitely one of them. This is a favorite of mine, and it probably, I would say to this day, is still one of my favorite collages. I just love everything about it, I guess. I just think it works. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. But I do need a name for this one, though. So this next one is another favorite of mine, but this was one that I could collaborate with you guys a little bit on because I had these 4 elements and I had just arranged them in different layouts. I think 2 or 3 different layouts. Didn't glue them down, took pictures of them, put them on Instagram, had you guys vote, and you guys voted for this one. So then I glued it together, and this is what we've got. I really like this one. There's something about the elements, the weirdness, the quirkiness, I don't know. I really enjoy it a lot. So if you guys are interested in being included in some of these opportunities to vote, definitely follow me on Instagram. This one, I don't actually mind how it turned out. It wasn't exactly what I had envisioned, but I, again, don't hate how it turned out. So, I don't know. His blue shirt a little bit pops in the wrong way, but yeah, I don't hate it. This one, I loved playing with scale on this one because this little boy is claiming victory over this giant strawberry banana on his bed, and it's making the bed break. And I just love how all of the pieces fell in together and worked super well. The coloring, even like the blue room and the red strawberry banana, and then his blue badge with his red outfit, something just came together on this one and really works. Here was a fun little squirrel image I put together. Yeah, there's really not much I can say. This piece came from a book that was all about canned goods from the history, I guess, and it really worked well scale-wise and coloring-wise, and I managed to find 2 swirls that kind of suit the scene, so that's what I did. Not much to say. Then we have this one. I don't love this one. I don't think there's enough interest happening. I did make this, whatever kind of cabinet this is, into, you could either interpret it as like a TV, like a screen, or more so like a window or a portal. You know, you can interpret it in different ways, I suppose, but I don't know. It's not quirky enough, I guess, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now this one I do love. I think it's really fun, even though it's quite busy. Yet there's only 3 elements to it. Just the background, this image. It was a kind of a weird image to begin with. And then I put butterflies on top. So, well, yeah, there's something about this. I just love the vibe of it. It's just cool. And it did take me quite a while to cut around all of these little blossoms. This was one that I had the elements cut out, except for the background. I had the rest of the elements cut out for a while, and I just didn't know how to finish it. So I was glad that I could finally complete it, and this is what we came up with. I like the concept. I think I would try it again and maybe see if I can get a different result, but yeah. Then we have this one, which is a very icy snowbird type of scene, and there's really not much to say about it. This one was for Februarage as well. So sometimes the ones with Februarage, I'm on a time crunch and I don't have the luxury of like taking as long as I want to finish it. So I just use what I have. So that's why sometimes Februarage doesn't work for me, but then sometimes I get really lucky with it. So it's a catch-22. It's here or there. Again, this was one that I had an idea in my head and I wanted to put it out in an art piece, and this is what the result was. Not quite as cool as my head thought it would be, but I mean, it's something. It was kind of tricky to figure out how to cut around this water pitcher and then like incorporate the bubbles that he's releasing into the stream from the water pitcher, you know? I don't know if it really translates very well. I'm not really sure I like the color combo, but this is what we got for that. This one is a favorite of mine. And one of the things I do really like in collages is vintage materials, and that's what this lady is. And I think that is something that really speaks to me, is having a vintage piece of material. Maybe with a modern piece, or maybe it's all old, but I am a big sucker for like vintage style things. So this came from a really old magazine. You can even feel the texture is different from the background. But I just like the mood of this one. She's so cavalier with this forest fire behind her, and we don't really know what the story is, but she's got a cigarette in her hand, a cigarette that's quite a bit too large for her, which I always love playing with scale. So yeah, there's this one. This one was meant to be another Hobbit, Middle-earth inspired collage, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I really love the coloring, the vibes, the circle that speaks to the circle of the door for their homes, and then, you know, mushrooms and trees and, you know, fields. I don't know. I quite like this. This girl in a cloak, the fact that she's got long curly red hair, the fact that she's a woman kind of gives a fresh element, because there's not a lot of females in Tolkien's work. So I don't know. I quite like this one a lot, actually. It might be a favorite. We've got this one, which I have this girl in this beautiful maroon colored dress walking up the steps in this old stone archway and walking into like these beautiful flowers. So this one actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. So again, it's one that has more than normal, but it doesn't really read like it has more than normal, because I think the way that this image of flowers and the way that the background image of flowers works well together, I don't know. Something works in this one, and I'm really happy with it. The only thing is, I do wish the image of the girl had a little bit more light on her skin, because this was like a nighttime scene girl. So I do kind of wish it was a daytime scene, and then it would have just been perfect. But when you analog collage, you have to work with the materials you have. But I don't think I could ever get into digital collage. I just think my life is so digital already. I don't need more. I need more analog stuff in my life, not more digital stuff. A few more to go. We have this one of this child doing some kind of weird eclipse moonwalk thing in the water with these, like, I don't know, futuristic balloons, I guess. I don't know. I really like how this piece turned out. It's weird and it makes you think, and you're like, what's happening here? You can even read into the reflection of the balloons and be like, okay, what is going on? We have scale, playing with scale here. We're playing with like space. And I quite like how this one turned out. That's all I can say. This one was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I've wanted to use this lady for quite some time, so I didn't have an idea. I just was like, okay, we gotta cut her out and let's just see what we can find. And then I found this, and it kind of worked weirdly well to have her sit on the bridge And again, you guys know I love scale. I love mixing black and white with color. I love vintage vibes. So all of this was hitting all of the right notes. I found a car that to me brings the piece together in that it's a very muted colored photo of a car. So it's like she picked up this car from this colored world and it's becoming black and white like her. You know, I don't know. I just see something really cool in that. Because there is color to it, but it's so muted and dull that it almost looks like it could be going black and white, right? So, I don't know. I like that. Then we have this one, which I finished up recently. I had this guy, some kind of, I don't know if he's a pope or something, but reading from a scroll. I had him and I had these gears and clocks and stuff combined for quite some time. I just needed a background for it. And so it was kind of one of those things where the longer I left it, it was going to get damaged because of all these fine cuts here. And I just didn't want it to get damaged. So I needed to find something. So I found this, and then I found these snails, and then I put like maybe cogs and stuff inside the snails, and I just really like how this turned out, which is kind of weird because this one actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So quite a lot of elements going on here, and yet I think it reads really well. The color palette is really nice, and there's a story here, but I don't know what it is. So it's kind of fun that you can like interpret whatever you want from this. So I really like this one. And my last one is this little beauty. So I've had this background and then this foreground that I wanted to pair together for so long. And then I knew I had this girl and I wanted just the perfect environment for her. And the stars aligned, if you will. And the piece kind of came together. And the coloring, again, I'm really big into like a cohesive color palette. I love scale, I love space, I love sea, I love vintage. This is a vintage girl. You know, all of the things hitting the right notes again. So I love this one. So of all of these ones, we need to A, give them all names, and then B, I want to pick some favorites. So funnily enough, I would say these 3, which are quite recent ones. Actually, I'm going to add this one. These 4, which are quite recent, are favorites of mine. But let's see from the stash that we just went through. Oh yes, this one. I love this one. Considering the amount of favorites I have from this past year, I think this was a really good collage year for me. So I love that one. I love that one. I didn't honestly think that there would be so many that I loved, but this is a pleasant surprise. Alright, so as far as favorites go, these are them, but this is too many. I need to narrow this down. And strangely enough, I feel like I'm going to be picking a lot from my more recent collection. I'm not really sure how to pick. Maybe, something like this? Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm so curious which one will have been your favorite. So you can't really see all of them in the frame just because my area is not big enough, but yeah, I am quite happy with how this year turned out. I did not realize it went so well, but let me know which of the collages were your favorite that you saw here in my collection, and let's talk about it. I'm also curious if you guys have ever collaged in your life. Does this inspire you? Are you just not like a hand to paper creative type person. I believe everyone is creative in their own way, but maybe not in like a hand to paper type of way. Maybe your creativity comes out in a different way. Let me know about that. I'm very curious to hear all about you guys and your creative process, and yeah, let me know what you think. So keep in mind, all of these need names. If you came across one that you were like, that needs to be called this, let me know in the comments below. I could use your assistance because there's a lot here. There's more. This is the year that I've collaged the most in, which is maybe why I have so many favorites, because just the chance of having more favorites is greater. But anyway, let's wrap this up. This has been a long video. Thank you so much for your time and your support and your encouragement in the comments. I love hearing about what you guys are working on, or just hearing a hi in the comments below. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!